everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Coaching Call podcast. On this podcast, we'll cover various types of coaching by trainers in sports, martial arts, fitness, and business. We'll discuss each coach's methods to getting the most out of their respective athletes or clients and how they attempt to change the platform in which they coach. Join us on a fun adventure as we discuss unique coaching styles. Coaching is a universal part of how we get others to get something done. Join your host, Rafael, and his guests on this unique journey in coaching.
Hi, I'm Sifu Rafael, and this is the Coaching Call podcast. If you enjoy this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. This episode was made possible by listeners like you. Sabine, thank you so much for being on Coaching Call. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm very good, Sifu. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for receiving me.
Yes, and
good
you're
morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone.
Yeah, I was about to say that because you're not around the corner. Tell us where you're located.
I'm based in Dubai, and actually now it's 6 p.m. exactly.
6 p.m.
I'm
So
from
it's
Belgium.
evening. It's evening for you. It's morning for me. It's 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'm in New York. So look at that. We're connected through Connected Leaders Academy, if you will. But we're also connected because I love what you do. And I just had to have you on the show so that you can share your beautiful knowledge and your beautiful self with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So one of the things that I always do in this show is I want to go deeper into who you are. So I'm going to ask you a question that I ask everybody because it's so interesting to me. Where were you born and who influenced you before the age of 10 or 20?
Okay. I'm born on Earth first. We never know.
What part of the earth?
I'm born in Belgium, in a small town called Liège. It's the French part of Belgium. You can hear my accent probably. And who influenced me the most before the age of 10 years old? It's my grandmother. For her determination, for her courage, for her integrity. She was a very strong woman. She died 5 or 6 years ago. And that woman had 6 children. And my grandfather has been sick, not all his life, but almost. Meaning he worked, but not a lot. And they were really struggling with money. And having 6 children, in addition to that, she was even working in addition to a place where she was cleaning into a shop. She was waking up at 4 a.m. and she was having another job where she was distributing the newspaper. It doesn't exist anymore today. You don't have even the physical newspaper today, but at that time, everyone was waiting when they were waking up to have the newspaper. And that was my grandmother going there in the village. And never she complained. Yeah, for money, of course, when you don't have money, it's not an easy life. I could hear some conversation, but I was in admiration, and she has been my example for never giving up, ever, no matter what is happening. And finally, my grandfather died from a cancer, and she took care of him until the end. Wow. That was a woman with a very high level of determination. Yes, she's my example.
Strong woman.
Oh, yeah. Very, very strong.
You said something very important, that she never complained.
She was working all the time. And, we were complaining, children. She had 13 grandchildren. Everyone was at home. It was shouting, screaming everywhere all the time. And it was a small home, not even a big one. You had, I think, if I remember, was 3 bedrooms, something like that. Then everyone was packed, and I was sleeping there all the time. And I was the granddaughter because I had fun there. And we were fighting with my uncle also, who is just 1 year older than me. But yeah, she was shouting at us like everyone, because children are not always easy to manage. But When I say she never complained, she was working all day with the children, doing the homework, even with me. That was not my mom doing it. That was her. She was taking care of the husband, the food for 6 children. She was doing patisserie, cake, everything, working at 4 a.m. and having another job. And never I heard her saying, oh, life is not good. It's a miserable life. I'm not happy in my life. No, she just wanted to have more money to give more to us.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. So she was definitely taking care of you and everyone else too, not just you, right? Well, excuse me on that. But when we can consider the way we live our lives, right? It's incredible when we can have somebody who shaped the way we think about. She never complained. Strong woman, helped everybody. Outside of your grandma, who would you say was someone else that influenced you in a strong way that you still have that influence with?
Sifu, something cut and I lost a word.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
no problem.
that was amazing. And
Can you
now,
still hear me?
oh yeah, now I can hear you. Just
I
a few
apologize.
words. I lost you.
Sure. I'll say it again. So outside of your grandmother, who was, because your grandmother showed you the power of strength, of not giving up, not quitting, not complaining. Outside of her, who influenced you so that you still carry that influence with you today?
She is the first one in my life who influenced me in many different ways, especially in my studies. My
Outside
father
of
also, yeah, outside of that, because she didn't study. And my mother didn't study too. She stopped at the 5 primary school because at that time, you know, women didn't study. It's a big family. You need to clean. You need to help your mother.
Right.
That was like that at that time. You don't see that today. Women are studying, you know, in every country. But I mean, at that time, was not okay. And then my mom stopped, and I cannot say that my mom has worked in her life, to be honest. Then my mom was an example of what do not do somehow.
Right.
Because it shaped my mother in a certain way. Also, my mother was, I would say, a case that can say inspired me in some ways to do what I do today. Because she was constantly in depression. She has been abused, but nobody knew. You know, when you have 6 children, you don't see everything. You are busy. Anyway, many things happened. And I discovered that I was 35 years old when my mom told me. But all my life, I saw my mom struggling. She had some episode of schizophrenia even, but at that time, you was not diagnosed, you know. Today you would be, but not at that time. And of course, her life was far away in comparison to my grandmother's life. She was the total opposite. And she gave me an example of what I cannot do, I would say, in my life. Right. Because that was not easy to have a mother like that. But I can say today, if I didn't have her and I didn't learn, some people will tell you, oh yeah, but this is the bad way, etc. Yes and no, because yes, I passed by very difficult time having a mother who had those episodes of schizophrenia, very moody, not present for me, disappearing like this, you don't know where she is, you know, very crazy stuff, very dysfunctional. And then, of course, with my father, it was even more dysfunctional because they were a couple. And I mean, some people would tell you, how come you can find inspiration into that? And I want to answer to this. When you look deeper, those people are the example when you are balanced, of course, and when you can observe and analyze, they show you something that if you dig deeper, you can help people. And that's how I understood the message. in my personal situation, I mean, not everyone would understand this way, but with the experience I had with her, she shaped me somehow without realizing for what I do today, to help people.
Wow. Talk to us about, you talked about studies, and it was the importance of your grandmother even
Yes.
making sure that you did your studies. What were your studies like, and did you even like studying?
As a teenager, no. I didn't like study as a teenager at all. When I was in the primary school, that was my grandmother pushing me and giving me the taste of continuing even when it was difficult. This I remember clearly. Teenager time, like everyone, you go like this, and you have to redo again because you didn't do anything during the year. That's life.
Right.
But later on, I can say she was always behind me, because I remember I was 18 years old and my diploma was minimal. I don't know how you call it this in US, but in Belgium, it's just the bare minimum. Is not even the baccalaureate, is under this, And I realized at that time, said, this is low level. I don't want to be like my mother, because my mother didn't even have the diploma I had. Even mine was low level. And I had a discussion with my grandmother. I said, listen, I think I will go to work in a manufacturer. I was 18 years old, because I don't like what I do, and I don't want to work in the field where I got my diploma. It was serving in a restaurant, and cooking. That was my low-level diploma, because you have different grade. I was the lowest. And I said to her, listen, I want to change. I want to do accounting. She looked at me first, she laughed, and she said, Sabine, do you think you have the brain for that? No, I want to do finance, accounting, taxation, and then I will go for master, and I will do this. She looked at me and she was like, okay, do it. But she didn't say, don't do. She said, okay, do it. I said, okay, fine.
That's
I
nice.
started in the evening. I did accelerated course. It was a special program. Then I could work in the manufacturer during the day. And in the evening, I could go to school. In 3 years, I got the equivalent of the 6 years of baccalaureate, because in Belgium it's 6 years, not 5 like in France. And after that, I was not happy. I wanted more. Then I went to the chamber of chartered accountant, and I've been accepted directly in the second year, because between that I found a job in accounting. I started as a bookkeeper, and then I became chief accountant. And my financial director said, Sabine, I will give you a letter. If you want to go to that school, I will give you a promotion if you succeed at this school. Of course, I was motivated. Right. And I did it, and I succeed, and they accepted me because of that letter directly in the second level, not in the first. Then I earned 1 year, let's say this way. After that, I went to do a master in taxation. And then I started my career fully. And I left Belgium to go to Luxembourg to do a full career in finance. Yeah, for many, many years.
Incredible. Did you like numbers? Did you like finance?
No.
Did you like...
No. Seriously.
I know a lot of people who don't love it, but that was their passion somehow. Tell us about you.
No, I didn't like number, and I was really bad in math. In mathematics, I was bad. But when I started in accounting, one of the teachers said, this is not mathematics. And I was like, oh, okay. I wanted to know more. And the teacher explained that this is a play of writing and helping entrepreneur to pay less tax. And I'm like, oh, that's really what I need, because I was at the presentation first before doing my registration and make sure that I would love to follow those courses. Right. And when the teacher said that, this is for me. Yeah, this is not mathematics. That's fine. And I discovered, tax added value. That's something that I was crazy about. I could never explain why, but I loved it. And I became specialized also in that field. This is why I chose taxation later on. because I was already attracted. We call it VAT. It has a different name in every country. In US, I think is tax added value, something like that, on a sales invoice. It doesn't have the same name, but anyway. And I went deeper and deeper and deeper into that. Yeah. And my passion was helping entrepreneurs do not pay too much tax, because in Belgium we pay a lot. We go up to 52% of tax, which is enormous. Yeah. And of course, accountants are trained, and we help people to pay less, to find more charge here, more charge there. Yeah, they have different way of playing with the writing. Somehow
manipulating.
Yeah, manipulating. We call it optimization.
There you go.
Yeah.
The way of
or
saying
financial engineering.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing finally. When I was in Luxembourg, I was in companies where I was doing purely financial engineering more than accounting itself. And this, I loved it. But that was not really a passion. That was a timeline in my life where I felt, wow, yes, I'm strong. I can show I'm useful, because inside me, deep, deep down, that job was helping others already. Yes, to pay less tax, but they were thanking me for what I do, because they were happy that they pay less tax because I'm helping them, you know. Then it was already somehow, it was already somehow a way of what I do today. I was helping, but in a different way, if you get what I mean. But I didn't realize at that time. I didn't see that in this way.
What brought you to Dubai?
Okay. They have the soft
Am I jumping
version.
ahead too far, or do you want to just take it a little less?
No, that's fine. They have the soft version.
Okay. Give me the hard version. Give me the hard version.
You want the hard one? Okay.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
It's because I've been hit, let's say this way, by a huge awakening. My awakening was a relationship with a narcissist person with whom I stayed 5 years, but it was my wake-up call. I don't want to blame him today or say it's his fault. It's me who attracted him, because I'm born in a very dysfunctional family. I had many trauma due to how my mother was. My parents divorced, I was 5. I've been abused sexually at the age of 12, and so on. And I was accumulating trauma after trauma. Wow. Then, of course, what do you want to attract? When you are with that type of vibration, you are deeply wounded. The best person to attract was a narcissist in my case. I'm laughing today because I'm healed, seriously. Right. I know that some people are still in a very complicated situation, but I want to say that person was my wake-up call, because I touched the rock bottom. And I knew that when I left him, because he was also violent, that never I would come in Dubai. He didn't like Dubai, because at that time when I arrived in 2011, also I forgot to mention that I was often in one hospital, another hospital for 2-3 weeks, 1 month. The last one was 8 months, but they transferred me to a special clinic because I was depressed all the time and I wanted to attempt to my life constantly. For them, I was like a lost case. It doesn't look like today, but I've done a lot of work, believe me. And then because that person didn't like Dubai, he said it's like Saudi, it's too strict, you can't do anything, you will wear the veil, etc. I said, that's the best place to be. And I had a discussion with my psychiatric doctor at that time when I left the hospital, the last one. And he said, Sabine, you have to choose what you want to do in life. And I said to that doctor, listen, I don't know, I want to travel first and I will figure out later on. And he said, okay, take 1 month and go to the sun, go somewhere. I said, yeah, I will go to Dubai. He said, okay, when you come back, I want to see you. I said, okay, fine. I left with all my medicine and everything, come to Dubai on holidays. But when I landed, everything changed. Everything changed. It's like having downloads. I don't know how to explain. When I touched the land, I was like, wow, it feels like home. I could not explain what was happening with me. And I rent a flat that you share with other people. You know, you have a room. Anyway, I will not enter in detail. And those people were amazing. They taught me many things about Dubai. And I saw a part of Dubai that nobody knew, because everyone was believing is the bling bling, is this, is that, which for me was completely different. I started to meet light worker, healers, and everything. I was like, wow, what is going on? Later on, I understood that was my land for healing, my land also for studying and to do what I do today. But that day, I didn't know. You see how life is. We speak about coincidence sometimes, but here, when I look back, I can say that everything was planned. Everything has been designed by my soul or whatever, but on some level, it was designed. And then, of course, I was in love with Dubai and I wanted to come back. Then I went back and I said to my daughter, so listen, I need now to find a job to have enough money to go to Dubai. And I will send my CV to do a career in finance in Dubai. And 1 year later, I was there. I came 5 times during that year for interview. And then I've been hired in a company. I didn't stay long in finance here because that's practically the same like everywhere else. I had the illusion that because it's Dubai, it would be different. No, finance is finance. And I was at the stage also where I had many burnout also in finance, because I have reached a level where I was traveling a lot also. I was not happy in my life. Nothing was working fine. Then I had to fix myself clearly, and staying in finance was not really the solution. And I sent a request to the universe. I remember that day, and I said, I'm fed up. I don't want to work in that field anymore. But I said like that, you know, but the request has been heard. The day after, I was fired.
Oh, wow.
It was very fast. But again, if I look back, everything was designed. And then that day I said, oh, okay. I searched for another job, which I didn't find. And because I'm very intuitive, and since the age of 7 years old also, I can communicate telepathically with people who passed on the other side. Then that day, I centered myself and I asked. And the answer was, Sabine, always you will have food on the table, but it's time to change direction. And now it's time to embrace your calling. I'm like, calling? What is my calling? What is my calling? What's the calling, you know? Yeah. And then they said to me, Sabine, it's not a coincidence that you can communicate with animals since you're a child and it's looked like natural for you. It's not a coincidence that you can see spirit in a home, that you can feel the presence and you can communicate easily with people who passed on the other side. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? And they said, go to follow this course. And I started with the course they told me, and later on they came back with other courses. And then I went full on following courses. And in addition to that, and this is the funny part, because Dubai surprised me in this way, and that was also the answer for me to say, yes, it's the land where you need to heal, and it's the land where you will develop yourself. I put an ad in the newspaper, and it was written animal healing, home visit. I didn't say animal communication because I was afraid at that time. Imagine, it was in 2013, something like that. And because I was afraid, not knowing how people will react, I wanted to be soft. But the first client I got, she saw directly that I was communicating with her dog, clearly. And then she didn't say anything, and she started to send me clients. And that's how it started. Wow. And I gave my first animal communication course in 2014, and I got 7 people, which myself, I was amazed because I could not believe that this is real. And that's when really I started to open. Yeah. But at the beginning, wow, was a big, big, big awakening for me and big change of direction. Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible.
which I'm proud of it today. If today you tell me go back in finance, me, no way.
No, not
But
for you
before,
anymore.
saying I'm a healer was a shame. Oh my God, I could not accept that because I had the ego of, imagine a finance manager going on the floor with a dog, putting your hand on the dog and healing the dog. What? No, not for me. That was my closed-minded ego. You get the point? But then I changed completely, and today I'm like, yes, I'm proud of what I do. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. You said you fell in love with Dubai. What was it
Really.
about? What was it about Dubai that made you fall in love? Was it the scenery? Was it the outdoors?
No, it was
it
not the scenery.
people?
It was the welcoming that I felt energetically. You know, we speak sometimes about past life, and I did regression I discovered later on. I will not share it here. But like I said, when the plane landed and I touched the floor, I was like, ooh, oh yeah, oh, I like it. Oola, oola. I never had that feeling in any other country. Yeah, I've been in Egypt, I've been in Tunisia, I've been in US, I've been in Senegal, I've been to many different countries. But yes, I like, but never I was to that level of, wow, I feel it. And really what I do now is what I felt that day. It was midnight and I could not see anything, you know? And I joined the apartment with the people, and then I was talking with them. I didn't do anything special when I arrived, to be honest. Maybe 1 or 2 parties in 1 month. I was sending CV already after 15 days. But it was not even the wow tower and how Dubai is, Burj Al Arab, Burj Dubai, etc. Was not even that. Was the mixed city, different culture, all together, and be able to match perfectly well, which for me was like, oh, wow. The apartment that I was sharing was with one Egyptian, one Tunisian, one French girl, one German guy, one Pakistani girl, many different nationalities.
Right.
And me, Belgian. But I didn't feel any way of, oh, yeah, you are different than me. In Luxembourg, I felt that. Only with French and Belgian. Imagine, French people to Belgian people were like that, which is incredible, but it's a reality. Not always, I don't say everyone, but often, because they have a fear, you know? Oh, you are not like me, then I never felt that here. It's really cosmopolitan to the high level. And that's also the tolerance of Dubai, you know, because I was there since 2-3 days, and one said, oh, you are Christian, right? Say, yes, why? Say, oh, if you want, I can show you where the church is. And I'm like, okay, fine, thank you. You know, that was a good news to know in case I need. But it was already amazing to arrive in a country like that. In Belgium, we had many fights, not we, the government mainly, because the government in Belgium, and I say out loud, is made to divide everyone. 3 different communities, 3 different language, and they cannot get along together. Wow. Here, it's many different communities, different language. Everyone speak English because that's the main language with Arabic. But if you don't speak Arabic, they will speak with you in English. In Belgium, if you go to the Flemish part, don't dream. They will not speak with you in French if you don't speak Flemish. Forget. You see already this also made me like, oh, wow, I'm accepted. You see how deep it was for me. Again, I'm speaking about my personal case. Not everyone will be in this situation, but it's also because of the experiences I had before. That when I arrived in Dubai, discovering all of this for me, like, wow, say, yeah, this is my home. And that's really how I felt. Acceptance was really huge for me. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible that you didn't feel that in any other country, but as soon as you landed in Dubai, it's like something hit you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
I was already
So
in love without knowing of the land.
so you put an ad out. What was your ad? What did it say?
Animal healing, home visit.
That's it?
That was my ad, yes. And I put the price, which was very cheap at that time.
Right, of
And that
course.
woman called the day after. I put only one ad because that woman connected me to many others.
Wow.
And that's how it started. And it encouraged me to do more than I knew. I have an activity there, and now I can go to study. Then I started to study hypnotherapy, transpersonal regression, energy healing, theta healing. Oh my God, shamanism, everything. Everything you can name it, I've done it.
I love it. I love it. Sabine, what was, how long was the session, and what made her want to connect you with other people?
The session was approximately 1 hour. And I remember this woman was Indian nationality. She told me, by the way, that she is Indian. And she explained to me what was the problem with her dog. It was something like arthritis. And I said, okay, I do energy healing. Let's see what I can do. And I sat floor. It was a big dog, I remember. I sat on the floor with the dog. And the dog started to behave in a way that for me was normal, but not for her because it's her dog. She knows her dog.
Right.
And she noticed that the dog was adopting me fully, which was not a habit for that specific dog. In general, the dog is very distant. It doesn't like to be touched, which
No.
I didn't know. But I felt I can approach the dog. I didn't touch the dog directly. First, I started to do energy healing by distance, and then I approached the dog. And at the end of the session, I was touching the dog everywhere. And the dog was even guiding me where I needed to intensify the energy, let's say this way. She didn't say anything during the session. But then at the end of the session, she said, Sabine, I've noticed that your ad doesn't reflect what you do. And I was like, what? I was afraid because I didn't get what she mean at the time.
Right.
Oh, shit, you know, because that was my first job, first client, you know, and in a country where I didn't know if this would be accepted easily because it was new. I was like, ooh. And then she continued and she said, you know, my dog is like this. And I'm really amazed because he didn't say anything and he invited you. And I'm like, yeah, for me it was normal. Say, is it a problem? She said, no, that's not a problem. I'm myself very surprised because nobody can approach my dog like this. And I didn't realize that because for me, I went with the feeling I was receiving from the animal. But I have this connection since the age of 7 years old. Then for me, it's something I can't even explain. It was natural, but not for her. For her, it was like, wow. And this is why. When she saw that, she started to speak. And she introduced me to other people. And she said, can I share your number? So, of course you can.
Of course you can. Absolutely.
Of course you can. Yes, share it maximum.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let me share something that I'm doing with people.
Yes.
Take a look.
Go ahead. Yes. I want to know.
You followed the rules, tried the restrictions, counted the carbs, the steps, and the failures. You're not lazy. You're exhausted from doing it all without real change. What if the problem isn't you, but the plan? Sifu's Mind-Body Method is a 90-day transformation built on 7 unshakable pillars: mindset, movement, nutrition, hydration, fasting, journaling, and faith. This isn't another shortcut. It's your structure, your strength, your reset. You don't need harder, you need better. Ready to begin? Start today. Yeah, start today. Today's the day.
I love it. I love it.
When you currently, you said you went deep into everything, shaman and so forth. What was the catalyst for you to go deeper into that and not just stay working with animals? You went into humans.
Yeah. Why I went to humans is because I realized very fast that the problem was not animal. I'm sorry to say, for some people who don't have yet the big picture, soon it will come. The fact is, animal in reality don't need to be fixed. We are the one who needs to be fixed. And the main reason is through experiences and cases that I have studied through my clients and different horses, because even with horses it's worst. They show it even faster. I had horses who were losing kilos and kilos and kilos, and the vet didn't find what was the problem. Right. The horse was in full depression. The vet didn't find anything, which is really sad, you know. And the client invited me at that time. The client was in divorced period, drinking more than usual, being in full depression, but didn't tell me. You know who told me that? The horse.
The horse. The horse.
The horse told me, and the horse said, please don't be too hard on her. Explain to her why I'm doing this. Explain to her why I'm absorbing her energy, because she really needs me. She has nobody else. This was the opinion, because every animal has a different opinion, okay? Being with human also, we shape somehow their character at the end of the day. And the horse was really insisting, saying, she needs me and I'm here to help you because she has nobody else and she's not seeking for help. Please speak with her and explain to her 1, 2, 3. And he told me exactly what to tell her. Then I had the exact words to make her opening, which I didn't know why he wanted me to say. I discovered later on, because what he wanted me is healing her. But I didn't know that, because I'm coming for the horse, doing energy healing, animal communication, and the horse started to share everything with me. Then I said to her, I'm really sorry, but if you want your horse to heal, the vet will not be able to do anything, because he is telling me this, and that. Of course, she started to cry, and the horse continued to speak. While I was speaking with her, the horse was telling me what to say. That was an incredible conversation with him. And I continued, and she said, okay, Sabine, book me in. I'm like, book you for healing? That's what you want? She said, yeah, for sure, you do healing for human too, no? I said, yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
At that time. I knew how to do, of course, but I didn't do. I was focused on animal first, because it was something that I love. And because I lost my job and I knew I have to study this, deep inside, I had to focus on animal. And then everything started to shift in a different way. Then I knew, I have to take that course now. Now I have to elevate that way. Now I have to learn this technique, that technique, because I will be more useful in that case or that case. And then I went full on. And also the fact that I wanted to heal myself much deeper. I didn't want to go just on the surface or just remove few layers. I wanted to go full on also in my healing.
That's beautiful. I heard that horses are truth sayers. So if somebody's lying, the horse will say it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. True.
Incredible.
They are incredible. They are very wise, intelligent, with a huge wisdom. They sacrifice themselves, but they don't see it as a sacrifice, let's say it like that. And here in this region, we have a lot of horses, and they have a lot of problem, especially in jumping, when the horse starts just before the obstacle. That's a very typical situation, but that's not for the same reason always. They have always the reason that it's similar to the others, why they stop before the obstacle. Everyone will tell you stress or fear or whatever, or the people who are riding the horse, but it goes deeper than that, because the horse is always with you and absorb your energy. Then if you are a bit rigid, anxious, or you have other problem, let's say with exposure, when people look at you, and I had a case like that, the person could not handle the fact that everyone was having eyes on him, and the horse value was also million. Then he told me, yes, but the bad eye, because they believe a lot into that bad eye and everything. And he thought that this could happen. But because he was so anxious, the horse was helping him to calm down during the show, during the jumping. But then when the cup is full, the cup is full.
Yeah.
Then the horse cannot hold anymore, it's full. And that's when this happened. He was so pissed when he contacted me, but I've done 2 sessions, and this was an amazing story because it changed him more than the horse.
That's incredible.
Because he understood his horse on a different level. Many things that he was not even aware about himself, because we are like professional in lying to ourselves. We are like professional of I've lost the image. It disappeared. I had a black screen. This is why I was looking for my computer. Yeah, that was an amazing story in a way that this person changed himself and has been able for the first time to uncover many layers that he has buried deep inside him. That was going back to his childhood even. Yeah. Since that, he sent me a video 1 month later. He won the show. I never saw him after, because now I know and I follow, my people. He's a champion. Yeah.
Why do you think I always ask that question of childhood? Where were you born? Who influenced you? Because I believe,
because it's shaping you. Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, I think that there's so much when we can, because sometimes as adults, we forget our childhood. We try to move away from it, right? But for me, I think that when we can start to relive our life, there's so many answers that we haven't uncovered yet. And I think that happens a lot in my shows. I've had people cry on my show. I've had people whose moms didn't even know something about the person. They're like, and then they would reach out and go, my mom learned more about me in your show than they ever knew about me. So they were thanking me for being on my show, because when we go back into our childhood, we can start to see things or remember things we had forgotten. And I think that's how we can explore who we are today. And I think that's a interesting idea that you just brought that up, because that's the reason I do it, right? Because for me, I want to get to know you. And the best way for me to get to know you is to start from when you were born.
Yeah. And I remember you mentioned before the age of 10. And that's before the age of 10 that we are still in what we call theta brainwave, which is somehow a form of hypnosis where we download everything. And that's what is shaping us. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Sabine, you and I both belong to a community. And every time we are both, I come on Tuesday mornings. I can't do any other time. And, but I'm always seeing you there. You're so powerful. You're there. And what is your take when you're looking at all the other people on there? And I know it's a positive because everybody there has so much value that they give. What is it about the community that you like? I love the community, but what is it about the community that, because you're very insightful on people. So what is it about the community that you like? What does it make you want to be there?
What I really love about this community and what attract me also is the fact that when you are in a, let's call it networking meeting, it's not like other networking meeting. I will give you an example. After 14 years in Dubai, mainly, I've been to different networking meeting, giving my business card of animal communicator, and on the other side, I was still giving the finance in case it doesn't work this way. We'll try that way. Then I've tried. I've been to professional networking too, where you pay per month, and some free, different level, different style. To be honest, and I'm very, very transparent here, I never found that connection like I found here in the CLA. Why? Because when I was going in networking, either is a free networking or paid networking with breakfast, dinner, whatever you can imagine, because Dubai is big, unfortunately, is like speed dating. When I say speed dating, it's not relationship here. I'm speaking about the fact, give me your business card, I'm giving yours. Blah, blah, blah. Thanks, next. Okay, they never call you back, or they call you because they have a product to sell. Done. And they don't even recognize you when you go next week. And you say hello, and they look at you like, yeah, hello. Like they see you for the first time. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? I spoke with you last week. I didn't say frankly to the person, but in my mind, I was like, what the heck? I spoke with you last week, and sorry, you didn't recognize me. I don't have this in the CLA. People are very, I don't want to say the word exclusive. They're very human. I feel the human connection. For example, when Jose introduced me to the CLA, after the first meeting, he said, Sabine, go for virtual coffee, meet people. So, okay, let's go. Then I started to book, here and there with everyone because he told me go. So, okay, go. I was not even looking. I said, okay, I need to make connection with people. Yeah. But I've been amazed. I've been amazed because people welcome you. They are not with the watch, like in that networking where I was going before. Say, take my business card. I'm doing this, what you do. Okay, next. No, it's a human conversation. I've made real connection there. Starting by you, starting with other people because I had a summit with someone else. Even simple conversation or just advice that I was not even expecting for. And advice doesn't cost anything from you. That's helping a person just by giving a tip. But for the other one, and it was me that day, I didn't ask for anything. The person was communicating with me like we speak now, and it turned to a way in only 30 minutes, not more than that. It turned in a way that the person was giving me tips that for me was like, wow. It changed the way how I was thinking and working in my business. I was really like, wow, this is something. I never had that type of tip with people when I was going to the networking because you could sense their approach. They come, hello, this is my business card. Give me yours. Done. Everywhere. And I'm telling you, either it was free or paid with breakfast, with no breakfast, whatever. That was that level. And this, I didn't like. I was missing that human connection. Here, I found it back. Of course, they have exception everywhere. Of course. But the majority of people I've met, that was amazing. That was amazing. Even when we have the weekly meetings, I enjoy all the time. And I'm like, what? That's new. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. I'm learning all the time.
Yeah. So
that's really an amazing cycle. I would call it even a tribe.
Yeah.
Even if we are a big number, it's still a tribe for me.
Yeah, exactly. You feel like you belong, right? So
exactly. Yes.
Let's talk about what I named this show for today was Unlocking Soul Freedom. What does that mean to you? Unlocking soul freedom, like your soul, your being. What does that mean to you?
Come back home. That's what it means for me. Come back to your authentic self. Come back to the real you. Come back to your authenticity. Allow yourself to be who you are without a mask. Yeah. To be transparent and to dare to be the real you. Yeah. That's what it means for me.
Love it. Do you feel, you said come back home, do you feel that Dubai is your true home?
I don't know if Dubai is my home until the end of my life,
I
but
got you.
that's where I found happiness. Yes, because that was my healing land. And I think this is why I'm so attached to Dubai.
If you were to go to another country, what would be your first choice?
Maybe Thailand,
Why?
but not Phuket.
Not Phuket.
No. Too touristic, you know. Go to an island like they don't have too much people. Yeah.
So connect back to nature.
Exactly. And certainly not Bangkok, just 2-3 days, you know, but not to live there. No. You know, I'm here in Dubai, but I'm not in the center of Dubai. I'm not where all the towers are and never have been, which is the funny part of it. Never,
Really?
ever. Only when I shared the apartment with those first people, it was in a big tower in Business Bay where Burj Khalifa is. After that, I lived in the ground floor in a small studio. After that, I moved to an apartment, second floor, and the building was 5 level. Always I've been to building where it was 5, 6, never more than that, or townhouse. And now I'm living in a townhouse.
Nice.
But I'm 40 minutes away from the center. And when clients want to see me in person, I'm telling them always, you will see camel if you come to see me. Because you will have a road like this, and they have the desert there, and then you come to me. That's where I live. And I'm in the middle of the desert in a community. We have everything. We have even a fake beach bracket. We have lakes, you know, we have nature, we have trees, we have everything we need that we don't need to move out, you know. We have supermarket, everything, and people also. That's what I love in this community. People are really connected. You know your neighbors.
That's incredible.
And for me, this is important. It's like come back in my own village when I was a child, you know. It's not the village, it's a town, because my community is a big community. But I mean, I'm still in the middle of the desert. I walk 10 minutes. I pass the bar here and I'm in the desert. And I see camel. I don't need more. I'm happy.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Me and camel is something also, for sure. It's like horses, you know. It's,
But you don't go into the center of Dubai.
I go for sure because I have some stuff to do. When I go for paper, I can go to meet people. You know, I have also friends who are living in the center. But I have many people, even my clients, who came in my community because they loved it, you know. But yes, I still go in the center for sure because they have a lot of things to do there too. Yeah. They have a lot of activities you can do in the center.
Talk to me about quantum healing. What does that mean to you? Because you understood that you can help animals, but the reality is it wasn't the animal, it was the people. So talk to us about quantum healing.
Yeah. What is the quantum field first? Because when I do healing, you can call it energetic healing, quantum healing. We still work with the energy. We tap in the quantum field. Now, if you go to do some research about quantum medicine, quantum physics, you will understand that what I'm telling you now is explained by science. This is why I say always I mix spirituality with science. It's blended with science. The quantum field is a vast universe, let's say this way, and I'm tapping in, and I'm going to tap to some different energies that I'm channeling from the quantum field to pass on to people and animal. Because in the quantum field, they have no border. They have no limits, including when I communicate telepathically. You enter in the quantum field, and this is why I can do session online. Either is a therapy online, energy healing, animal communication online. The result is the same as in person because I'm tapping into the quantum field, and it has no border. You can be anywhere in the world. You can feel this energy if you are open to it. Because if you say, I don't believe in it, of course, you don't believe, you will not feel it. If you don't believe that they have a red car there, you will not see the red car. It will be blue for you, maybe.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I love how you talked about being open to it. How do we get somebody who, maybe it's a family member or a friend who is not open? How do we help them become open to that healing?
When I feel that people are really closed-minded about that specific subject, either it's a family member or someone else. I had cases, especially family. That was my challenge. But anyway, often I speak about a very well-known scientist who passed away, is Albert Einstein, who was speaking about the theory of the cause that has been taken again by someone else later on. And I speak also about Nikola Tesla, who always speak in terms of energies. And then people look at me, oh, Albert Einstein, oh, okay. And what is the link? Say, he was the one who was saying that everything is energy. And when we speak about the quantum field and the quantum medicine, I'm telling them, listen, now they have people who have done research and quantum medicine is existing. Inform yourself. Don't stay ignorant. What I'm telling you is not woo-woo. Yes, it looks like woo-woo, but it's not cuckoo, woo-woo, whatever, blah.
Right.
It's really based on science. And I think today, more and more people are waking up because they realize that what the woo-woo stuff was considered to be is not. It's just energy. And now science starts to prove with the quantum physics that everything is energy, starting with the atoms. Yeah. And that's where some people who don't want to believe are finally like, oh, yeah, it's proven by science. But yes, I still don't believe. Yes, it's proven by science and you don't want to believe. I had a reaction like this, believe me.
I'm sure.
Well, they're like, no, that's not the same. Say, way is not the same. It's just energy. You channel, you receive the energy because you are an energetic being first. Yes, what you see is solid, is your body. But what is inside your body? Atoms. And what is an atoms? Do your science class, go back to learn, and you will understand that is not woo-woo at all. And when people react this way, always I'm telling them the same. And then they are forced to do their own research because often, you know, you will have people that come to you and say, what you do is bullshit. But what they tell you, it's just ego-based. They don't know what they say. And when you explain, say, okay, that's your opinion. It's bullshit. Please go to check Albert Einstein, this one, that one, that one, quantum physics here. This is the article. And I'm providing the article. I don't hesitate. Right. And then I know someone has the seed planted. Now they do whatever they want with it. Yeah. They choose to go deeper and read what is written on the science side or continue to say is bullshit. Because most of the time it's ignorance when people say, energy healing is bullshit, doesn't work. Have you tried?
Yeah.
No. Often that's the one who said that. They didn't try.
Yeah. Incredible. Sabine, it's been incredible having this conversation with you. Thank you for taking the time. And I know it's evening for you now, so
Yes.
I really appreciate you. Do me a favor for 45 seconds. Tell everybody, I'm going to put your website going across the bottom. What can people expect when they reach out to you and want to connect with you?
Magic. I'm laughing, but that's real. That's real in a way that is not me saying magic. I have often people in my clients telling me, Sabine, I don't understand what happened, but my life changed. And they consider, that's them, of course, who consider it as magic. But I have many cases like that. The last one who gave me a testimonial, he didn't write anything, just supernatural. I was laughing when I saw that. Say, okay, another confirmation that the healing worked. He's happy about the result. But let's speak a bit more seriously. What I'm here for, I'm at the service to help people to transform their life. I pass by, I've been in a miserable moment. I explained before in this interview where I was, where I am now. Then I'm the perfect example that no matter what happened to you or what is still happening to you, in which stage you are not satisfied, frustrated, or you have huge trauma, or you believe that you can't heal, it's impossible to heal, I'm the proof alive that everything is possible. I had many conditions that I will not expose here, more than what I could share today. And when you look at me today, my life is not perfect because nothing is perfect since you are on earth. We are here to learn, but I'm happy. I'm feeling whole again and I'm feeling complete. And that's what you can expect. Transforming your life. You don't find happiness. I will help you to find happiness inside you, because happiness doesn't come from the outside. You cannot fill in the void with others. It's here. It's inside you need to change. And that's how I will help you to change your deep inside, your inner being and your soul. Yeah.
Love it. Everybody, do me a favor. Go to SabineTherapies.com. Talk to this beautiful young lady. She will guide you. Do me a favor. Somebody needs to listen to this show. Share it. Share it. Share it. And if you need to listen to it again, it'll be available for replay. Thank you, Sabine. What an incredible human being you are. Everybody, have yourself an exceptional rest of your day, and we will see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Sifu. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.